We're out here near Ash Fork, and we're gonna be checking out the Johnson Canyon Railroad Tunnel today. But before we get to that, we're gonna check over here. This here's the old Welk Station, built in the late 1800s, so a long time ago. And this building housed a single telegraph operator, back when telegraph was still a thing, to tell the trains and stuff what's coming up ahead. Sadly, it's just a concrete pad now because to prevent having to pay taxes on it, they knock it down. But that cut over there, which goes to the tunnel that way, was originally owned by the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad, which was then acquired by Action, Topeka, and Santa Fe sometime in the early 1900s. Now it's abandoned, sadly. But back to the concrete pad. So, not much here, sadly. Just a few fence lines, a few metal. And apparently, according to sources, there really wasn't much out here. So, it's like 3 trailers out here, apparently, for the workers. No electricity, of course. No propane. So, how they heat stuff was via kerosene. Yeah, sadly, not much remains. It's all been torn down. But enough of that. Let's hop on my bike and we're gonna head over there to Johnson Canyon and check out the old tunnel. See you in a bit. So here's the first little bit of infrastructure along the old grade. This here is probably a drainage tunnel to let the water pass under the tracks into this canyon here. Still somewhat here, but seems like a fair amount of cars have driven over here, so the top part has collapsed in on itself, and it's kind of hard to see, but there are some telegraph, or where I believe to be some old telegraph stumps in this area, but sadly you can't see them from here. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so we have a rock cut over here, but before we go there, we've just passed our first bridge, and looks pretty cool. We got concrete abutments here with looks to be some timbering, and now it definitely seems people have still driven over this thing, so we're gonna test it's still stable at least. But you know, let's hop into the wash down here and see what's under it. Yeah, you can see all the basalt here and filled rock for this area. Yep. Oh, they're all in my shoe now. Oh well. All right, here we are, the tunnel, or my bad, the bridge. Got some little writing up here. We got, let me zoom in on that. PDD.8-57 and some other information. Let's have a cute little drawing over there. Look at that. It's got a little minecart on it and it says memory. I like that. How cute. Yeah. Got some timbers on the bridge. These look to be fence posts, maybe. But a really cool bridge. So here's the rock cut, and the road is deliberately blocked just before it to prevent people from driving down here. And this is the first cut of many that we'll probably see. And over there we got our first big bridge crossing over there. So let's go check that out now. So we got a good sized wash here. So of course they had to traverse it. And we have a pretty big filled dirt bridge here. Now what's a bit surprising is I don't see any drainage at the bottom. So I'm not sure where the water is going, but it looks to be an old quarry up there. It's probably where they found the materials for this filled dirt bridge. Look at the map of the road that goes that way. And over here we got another pretty big cut through the earth. So let's just check it out. So here's the cut. It goes straight through the rock here. Wide enough for one train, of course. Because of course there's only one track here. The other track, when it was built, was the Cosino Cut, which curves all around Johnson Canyon. And of course, before that track was, back before they had tracks going in both directions, they decided to build the other track through this area. So here we have these buttresses that help hold up the mountain here. We have a lot of debris in the canyon, actually. We got all the sleepers all in there. So they just tossed them out. They took the rails out and just lobbed the sleepers into Johnson Canyon. And these buttresses, some of them are filled up here. Others are not. I presume for drainage, like this one right here. Or maybe they were filled, but they just... erosion has pushed it off. There's a lot of them over there which are not filled at all. So I presume water and wind and stuff and snow pushed the gravel with the salt here into the canyon. It's cool. We're getting close to the tunnel, less than half a mile away, so I'll keep biking and we'll check it out. Well, you see that? That's the tunnel. But before we go over there, we have this large, unassuming filled dirt bridge. Now, there's actually used to be an old trestle bridge here, but as trains got heavier, the engineers realized that the old wooden bridge would not support the trains anymore, so they covered it. And according to sources, the bridge is actually still under there. They just piled filled dirt and more filled dirt over the bridge until they covered it completely. But there's a little history on that little bridge, but you know what? That's not what you're here for, or maybe you are. So, let's go to the tunnel now. Here we are, the tunnel. So, a bit more history about this tunnel. So, during World War II, there was some fears that the tunnel would be bombed and cut off an important rail passage. So, just before the tunnel, there would have been an old guard shack there. Sadly, it does not remain, but there are some ruins there that might have been the guard shack. And another bit of interesting history, there actually was a fire in the tunnel back in 1882, I believe. And sadly, 2 people did die. So they replaced the wooden arch of the tunnel with this steel boiler plate. And you can see the light going to the tunnel there. And we do have a keystone here. See if there's some words on it. I can't say what it says. It looks like Blantyre, Cons, and possibly a date. And we got some more words on the tunnel. It's kind of echoey. We got another one of these little mine carts that we saw on the other bridge. And definitely some erosion has blocked the entrance a bit. Though it still seems that people have driven their vehicles down here because there are tire tracks down here. You're not supposed to, but this is really not a well-traveled trail, so I think most people just don't care. And yeah, the brickwork here is really cool. Yeah, it shows up on camera at least. Got these masonry bricks. And this tunnel is about 400 feet in length. It goes around a slight curve here to follow the mountain. It's getting a bit bright. Let's look back. Yeah, cool. And there were it's been some graffiti on the walls here. I hate when people do that, but you know, graffiti exists in all time periods, and it kind of gives us a glimpse into the past of like old graffiti. I mean, heck, there's even graffiti on the old Casa Grande National Monument in Coolidge, and That's in Coolidge, Arizona. Graffiti from the 1900s. A big pipe here. Really cool. And we're out. We have walked the 400 feet through the Johnson Canyon Tunnel. And got some more markings on this side of the bridge. Got some more carvings that people have put their names in. Historic ones or modern day ones, I'm not sure. But there is the keystone up there again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says Blantyre on it. Might be the Masons who made it. Alright, so we're above the tunnel right now. As you can see, it's down there, and got some evidence of blasting up here. Got some drill holes in these rocks, and look, I've got some telegraph poles over there. You got some more up there on the ridge line. Of course, no wires or anything remain, just the wooden posts, sadly. You know, pretty nice. The road definitely gets a grade. It's a lot rougher past the tunnel, more erosion and stuff like that. And it is really cool though. Got more ruins of poles here and stuff. It's a nice view too. Very nice. Makes me wonder how much debris in the Johnson Canyon down there. Also, I think this is where the old guardhouse would have been before the tunnel. We have what's left of a concrete pad right here, and something that would have been here at one point. Sadly, nothing remains. Everything's been knocked down because, of course, they don't want to pay taxes on it. Oh yeah, head back. Pretty cool area, I'd say. This here is the western end of the old Johnson Canyon rail line. It would have connected to the main line right here. Well, sadly now it's a dead end. You can't even cross the tracks here either, but it would have crossed here. That's the end of it, apparently.